says we're streaming.
Okay, we are streaming.
But we are not recording. I will let you know when we're ready.
Okay.
I've contacted Switzerland as well.
Okay, we are now going live on YouTube, and we are recording to my hard drive. Bailey, whenever you feel like it. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome, all of you, to the General Assembly this weekend for PPI. It's Saturday, December 7th, 12 minutes after 11 over in Europe, and 12 minutes after 5 a.m. where I am, London, Ontario. It's really awesome to see all of you here. I know that we were a little bit worried about making quorum and that there was some confusion with, getting into Zoom, and then we're trying to deal with the Congresses stuff. And yeah, it's, I understand it's a bit of a process, but we really appreciate you being here and just your patience through all of this. So it looks like we're pretty much ready to get going. Let's have a good GA this weekend and move PPI forward. And I think next, I'm going to ask, well, we have Marco here, first of all, who has agreed to be our meeting chair, and if all of you agree to that. So thank you, Marco. And I guess we can just go right into it. I guess first thing, does anybody object to Marco being our meeting chair? I'm not hearing anything, seeing any objections. All right, cool. And does anybody have any questions before we get into stuff? No? Okay, all right. Well, again, thank you all. Really excited to see all of you, and I am going to pass it off to Marco, and GA is officially open.
Yeah, we have actually, according to the agenda, the opening of the meeting would take 1 hour, but I would say that if anyone has some note or some, okay, Mikael?
Since it seems that we are voting through Zoom at the moment, I would love to ask everybody if they could attach the shortcut for their party to their name in Zoom, so we can get the hold of who everybody is.
Good idea.
Yes, please add your national designation behind your name, like Bailey says PPI. You use the 4 letters, like Norway would be PPNO. That makes it easier for everybody to organize this.
Maybe even better before the name, since the longer names are shortened on the general view.
How do we do that?
In the participants list, you just hover over your name, and there are 2 options: mute and rename. By rename, you change your name.
Yeah, I would ask also the people that are not delegates, but members of the PPI organizational staff to do the same. So to put the PPI before the name. Okay, so as for the formalities, at this point, we have, since Congressus is not yet working, I will name, okay, for now I will name 2 vice presidents, Bailey and Raymond, that please catch my attention if someone is saying something and I don't see them. And for now, I will take the votes. So if there is any volunteer that wants to check the votes with me, please raise your hand now. Okay, I see various people. Okay, but Carlos, the problem is that you're a delegate, so that would be a bit, how can I say, that could be a bit confusing. So I would say, Mikael, that's okay.
I'm not a delegate, so I could help out if help is needed.
Okay, then. Okay, then it's even better. Okay, Michael then will take note of the votes. So we can, at this point, we need some minute taker. I guess that with Congressus out of line, we will need a minute taking tool. So, sorry for these formalities, but it seems that we have to do that the old way. Okay, yeah, Raymond?
Yes, Keith is our minute taker. If nobody objects and the chair confirms it, he's asking whether he can start the meeting in Congressus, and he wonders what the problem is, why we're not using it still. I don't know of any problem with Congressus in itself. The challenge is only that the user accounts for the voting delegates are not prepared. So I think you can start Congressus and start taking meeting notes in there, but be aware that we cannot vote in there as of yet.
Okay, then. Kate, please, then I will not, since I have only one screen, I will not be able to check the minutes. Kate, you are the minute taker for the meeting. So we have the 2 vice chairs, Raymond and Bailey, and minute taker Kate, and additional staff for vote count is Michael Sinclair.
Marco, please.
Yeah.
Could you state your name and where you come from officially so we can get in the minutes and in the audio?
Yeah, I am Marco Confalonieri, member of Pirate Party of Italy. And yeah, right now, unless no one objected, I am the chair of the meeting.
Can I just ask who's counting the votes then?
The countries that vote. Yeah, that will be the next step to check whether if we have a quorum, we should have that. And I will call the countries one by one. Actually, the first step in the agenda will be for the new members to be, for the candidates as new members to be accepted. So
we cannot accept candidates if we don't have a quorum.
Of course, that's why I will count the members first and establish if we have a quorum.
And the fast-speaking Michael Gill, I think he asked who will be counting the votes. And the answer to that is Michael Sinclair. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Okay, are there other questions? No, perfect. Okay, I would begin.
The minutes are taken in the congresses or nowhere?
Yeah, Kate is taking them in congresses.
Thank you.
May I, Marco?
Yeah.
I see in congresses that the session president is set as Ray Johansson. It should not be. It should be somebody else. And the session secretary is set at Cedric Levieux, and that's also wrong. So, Keith, I think, unless that solves itself rather quickly, I think you should start with an Etherpad. Thank you.
One moment, I will just do a quick. Well, by the way, in congresses, it says no ongoing meeting, so.
So yes, Keith, I don't know what it looks like on your side, but for the moment, maybe take the notes in an Etherpad.
Yeah, Etienne?
Please look at into the chat. I don't know if you hear me.
Etienne, sorry, I can't hear you properly.
So I have now changed the session secretary in congresses to Keith Goldstein. Do you see what you need to see there, Keith? If you do, then go ahead. I'm not sure to whom I give session precedent. Anybody has an idea there? Please let me know. At the end, for practical reasons, who do I put as session president? Do we just stay with me, or?
Well, Keith asked in the chat if you can make him session president.
Then I will do so. Can I have a thumbs up, Keith, when Marco can continue with the meeting? Thank you.
Okay. So let's go to count the present members. When I say the name of your party, please unmute yourself and say yes. Or if you are unable to talk, please write in the chat. Pirate Party of Norway.
Yes.
Yes.
Czech Republic. Czech Republic.
Present and represented.
Okay. Brazil.
Present.
Germany.
Present.
Italy.
Yeah.
Israel. Okay. Greece.
Yes.
Catalonia.
Yes.
Austria.
Present.
Netherlands.
Present.
Luxembourg.
Yes.
France. Switzerland.
Yes.
Okay, we have a voting power of 12.5. So we have a quorum.
Yay!
Okay, so
may I ask? I know Catalonia has a 0.5 voice, but which other party has a 0.5?
no one that no one that is present right now.
Okay, so everyone else has
Conference
one.
of Spain, Australia, and the other Australia have 0 power votes.
You mean New Zealand?
New
Okay.
Zealand. Okay.
So it's only Catalonia has 0.5 at the moment.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Okay. So I would proceed with the presentation of the new members. From what I can see, the new members that are present are the Pirate Party of Slovakia. New members, not the one that is already there. And we have an observer member that is the Pirate Party of Brandenburg. I don't see any other new applicant. Is this correct?
That is correct. As far as I can tell, there's one new member application, and I'm not really sure, but I think it's like this. The board of PPI says yay or nay whether or not their application is complete. If it's complete, we can vote, and they are then new members.
Yeah, exactly. So first of all, I would ask Bailey, are both of these applicants, do they have a complete application, a regular application?
As far as I can tell, yeah.
Okay. Then I will give the word to the representative of the Party of Slovakia to introduce themselves.
Hello, ahoy. My name is Rudolf Molnar, and I'm member of the Pirate Party of Slovakia. And I want to explain a little bit because I know you are confused now. There are two parties or something. So in the past, there was just association, not a party. And they tried to be an official political party. But for some reasons, I don't really want to explain here because it's for a long time. They're split, and now we have 15 members. We went through all the applications and all the stuff you need to get to be a proper politician party. So now we are party and have a name, Pirate Party Slovakia. So we are officially registered, and now we want to be a member of the PPI.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. Does anyone have any question?
Yeah, where is the application? Where can I see the application in full?
Someone from the board?
The application will normally be found on our wiki. We have had rather busy time of it, so I'm not sure that it's there, but it will be there when we get it done.
Yeah, but we would need the application before voting for the membership. We would need to see the application. In case, is it possible to have a copy of the email posted somewhere?
let's ask Keith when he gets a moment whether or not he can do that.
By the way, it was me who wrote the application, so I can easily find it.
Okay.
Then the email, which you're now finding, Michael, has to go on some web page somewhere, so we can link to it before voting, as I understand it from Marco.
Yeah, the point is that every member need, yeah, is not a matter of trust, but any member needs to have a look at it before deciding. So I think it's a good practice to have it. It's not necessary to have a, yeah, thank you, Kate.
It will be copied to the minutes, so you will see it in congresses.
Yeah, we could put it in this membership applications received. It already states that Slovakia. Maybe you could insert it there so it has structure.
Yeah, I have some problem reaching the minutes actually. Sorry, Raymond, how are the minutes of meetings supposed to be reached through congresses? I don't see any link for that here.
Okay, I'm doing a few things at the same time here, so please be patient with me. First, there was a question, where is the YouTube stream? And I've pasted in the tweet in the chat to everybody now. When we're talking about congresses, you will then go to the agenda item in the left column and click on that, and there you will see the minutes being written. And I can see now that the application is right there at the bottom of it. So we are now in formalities, meeting chair, secretary, new members at 12 o'clock. If you click on that, you will see the minutes being created by Keith.
Okay, thank you. I also see that it was reported in this discourse. Okay, please, everyone, have a look at the application that was received. If anyone didn't see it, please talk now.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're looking at.
Okay, if you look in the chart.
But like, is this what you're referring to as congresses?
That one is discourse, but in discourse actually there is the application reported. So if you look at membership applications, you should see membership applications received.
There's a link in the chat.
Yeah, it didn't work, but I found it here. I just don't have the other place you mentioned. I don't even know what that is, but I'm good.
Okay, I will give you 5 minutes. I think it's enough to read the application. So I will take the vote at 11:40 and unless there are objections. In the meantime, I would ask someone from the board to also post the application for the Pirate Party of Brandenburg. it should be much less time taking since it's an observer or member application. So,
okay, can I have a question regarding the application?
yeah, of course.
As far as I understand the current situation, there is one association which is member of PPI from this country. There is another association which is not member and is not applying for membership, and there is a party which is now applying for full membership. So we will have two full members.
Rudolf?
What I know is just one association and one party, not two associations.
Well, I went to the web page smepirati.sk, and from there it seems that there are some bank accounts registered to Občanské sdružení Piráti.
Yeah, but we went through the process and now we are the party. So that was the reason there was two associations and now it's just one association and one party.
So the association no longer exists, although there are...
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Am I correct in assuming that we are in a holding pattern, maybe 3 more minutes before you will let us vote?
Yeah, I see, however, that there are, can you please post also the excerpt from the program and the statutes in English?
I'm sorry, did you ask me something?
Yeah, the application says that there are that they attach the statutes in English and an excerpt from the program. I think that they would be important since I mean we are voting for admitting them. So,
if you don't mind, Marco, Michael Gill wants to speak.
I want to speak in response to that. In the end, we didn't have time to translate. So the statutes can only be translated by Google Translator or something like that. But they should at least be attached in Slovak, which they are not in the link.
Okay.
Rudolf, if I understand correctly, there is already a pirate party in Slovakia, right?
We are the Pirate Party of Slovakia. There is no other political party.
Yeah, what are your relationship with the current PPI member that is named the Pirate Party of Slovakia?
Yeah, that problem, they are using the word party, but in fact, they are not registered as party. It's just association. And by Slovakian law, is not allowed to use the word party. I don't know why they use this, so it's not a question for me. Sorry, I cannot explain it.
Yeah, okay. Slovakian law is not really my area of expertise, but I want to know if you have any relationship with them, if you talk with them, or if they just stopped existing or something like that.
I'm a new member, so I just know what the party chairman told me. There was a first pirate association and they want to start a party, so they're making all these things you need to do to have a party, but for some reasons they split, and I'm not happy with this because it's not good for the pirates to split and fight each other. So, but the situation is now there is one association that is member of the PPI, and we are the party, and we want to be a member of the PPI and be the best Pirates party here.
Marco?
Yeah. Are there any other questions?
I have a question to the situation.
Point of order, please, first. Those that are watching on YouTube now or in the future cannot see those of you that do not have the video on. So when you start talking, please tell us who you are. Thank you.
Oh, Mickey Sinclair. I'm an individual member of PPI. I see it this way: there's officially you have to have a registered party to become a member of the PPI. Now we could go in the direction that the Pirate Party of Slovenia that is not registered as a party, they should have never been became a member of PPI because they have no registered party. So we could go another way and say they could have an individual membership, or they could have an observing status until it's sorted out. And the official party has actually priority for PPI.
Well, Thomas Gohl, Power Party of Germany. I may object to Michael because, well, as PPI, even from its founding onward, had the problem that some associations, whatever the title might be party, NGO, whatever, had problems to get themselves established. For example, a Pirate Party of Russia. But as we have been pirates saying, well, you'll be accepted anyway, because we don't want to intermingle or wanted to intermingle with national laws or whatever, but duly accept them anyway. Just telling.
Thomas, please wait for me to give you the word, just to make order, because I see that Wojtek wants to talk. Thank you. Wojtek?
Thank you. So I would like to say a few things. First of all, there is already Pirate Party from this country. It was accepted under the grounds that it is made difficult by the laws of Slovak Republic to create a party because they need 10,000 signatures. This party, as the new Slovak Party, came to be by renaming or overtaking another party, as far as I know. So this is the question. I think both parties have valid ground to be considered for full membership. In this case, the statutes said that the parties should be encouraged to try to join a confederation. I would like to ask if any steps in that direction have been taken. And second of all, I think the application process stands that the statutes and bylaws should be sent accompanying the application, and also that the application should be sent out at least 4 weeks before the General Assembly. I would like to ask if those requirements were met.
Before Rudolf replies, I see that Michael wants to talk. Michael, you have...
I wanted to reply to that. Yes, the application was sent 4 weeks before the General Assembly by me. The statutes were amended later, which is acceptable. Although only in Slovak. I currently have them on my computer and I'm trying to post them somehow, somewhere, so they are part of the application in Congresses.
Rudolf?
Point of order, please. Point of order.
Yeah.
Are we? I'm a little unsure what we're discussing here. We're not discussing, are we, whether or not we should be able to have 2 members from one country, because that's already been decided years ago. So we don't have to discuss the finer points of that.
Sorry, but I think the members have the right to ask the questions. Since
absolutely, I just want to know what we are talking about. Are we talking about Slovakia, the new member application, or are we talking about whether or not we should have 2 parties?
No, we are discussing about their application. Is not about having another party, but according to the statutes, they are encouraged to join forces before attempting to have multiple applications from one country. Yes, Michael.
I will try to answer that, since I am probably more or better acquainted with the situation in Slovakia, better perhaps than Rudolf is. They split from one another. That's how they came to be. A year ago, approximately this time, they were still one party very much, and then they split into two. The old one, therefore, retained their PPI membership. The new one, in the meantime, managed to take over another party to rename it then. So trust me that the attempts to reconcile were made many times in the meantime, but I don't really know how it's gonna go in the future, if that's ever gonna happen.
Are you still talking?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Rudolf, please use the raise hand in the panel if you want to talk. And okay, if you are unable to do that, then yeah, it's okay to raise your hand like this. I would ask the vice president to tell me if someone is raising hand in Zoom, because I might not see them because I have two screens with the participants. Rudolf, you can talk.
Thank you. We are trying to join the forces and be just one pirate party in Slovakia, but unfortunately the people from the association refused this, so that's the reason for the situation here. I hope in the future maybe there will be just one pirate party, like a political party, not so many associations or this.
Okay. Is there anyone else that has questions? No. Michael, yes, you can talk.
To solve this sort of dilemma, we could actually what status has the Association of Slovakia that is not an official party but a member of PPI? Are they observing status or are they full member?
Currently, they are full. They are an ordinary member.
Could we maybe accept both parties as observing members until they have consents together, and we could maybe help them get to this conscience as PPI as well?
Actually, we could. Okay, I see Wojtek and Linda that want to talk, and I will give you the word soon after. Okay. Wojtek?
I would like to say that I think that PPI should do some purging of the register of members, because not all members meet some requirements or are actually not really active. And but this is not what we can do now, and I'm not sure if we have the power to change observer full membership status to server membership status, especially if it was not on the agenda at this point. I would then say that if we accept Pirate Party Slovakia as new member, then they will continue as part of this meeting with half a vote, and we should encourage the parties to either create a confederation, if even possible, or, and probably it is, or to plan some check of all parties if they meet the requirements that are set out to be active, to be in a democratic, to have inner democratic structure, and to have active contacts and so on.
Okay, Linda.
Yeah, I guess it's a technical question, but if the one Czech party that's currently a member is not really a party, can they be a full member? Because if not, they should be delegated down to observer status, and the actual registered political party should become the full member.
Actually, I can answer on that on one point, and is that not in every country is possible to have a sort of real party. So Pirate Parties International must take that into consideration. I mean, in some countries, let's say, for example, in the United States, a federal party is almost impossible to have. So not in every country is possible to have this situation. Or other countries where if there is not a full democracy, for example, that could be very difficult and to have a fully registered party. So I would say that that shouldn't be the discrimination for a party. Apart from that, my proposal is that we get 2 rounds of vote. So one for of course, if the Slovakian Pirate Party agrees to that, but if they don't get ordinary membership, I would propose that they could be accepted as observer member with the subsequent vote, because the outcome of the vote could be different. So I would propose to proceed with first with a vote for ordinary member, and then if it fails as observer member. What does Rudolf think about that? Rudolf?
Yeah. Could you please repeat the question, because I'm a little bit confused?
What I say is that we will now proceed with the okay, Michael, I will give you the word as I finish to describe. Now we will proceed with a vote for ordinary member. Yep. In case you are not accepted as ordinary member, I would call for a vote as observer member. Would be okay for you?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay then, Michael.
I would then say we would accept the new Slovakia party as a full member, so they have the same rights as the other Slovenian group, so we can force discussion between the groups. Giving someone minor rights would be a disadvantage for both groups. We could actually get more discussion if they have the same rights in PPI.
Marco, please.
Yes, Raymond.
Yeah, 2 things. I am in the process of trying to get all of the countries, their congresses login for later voting. So please, Carlos, Holland, Netherlands, check your private messages from me where you have your login for congresses. Number 2, I'm a little bit confused, and I'm sorry about that. We have a member application. Yes, it is a second entity in one country, which we have a culture for in Spain, Catalonia, and New Zealand, and Japan. What I'm looking for is for somebody to tell me whether or not Slovakia, the new membership applicant, has satisfied the rules for becoming a member, yes or no. I think that our chair in PPI said
Carlos,
that it was. And if they satisfy the statutes, then I would suggest, not as a vice chair of this meeting, but as one of the members that you all vote yes to accept them.
Okay, Carlos? Carlos, did you want to speak? No,
You have to unmute yourself, Carlos. I'll do it for you. You seem to have a microphone problem.
Carlos, please raise your hand if you want to talk. Okay. No, you don't want to talk. Okay, okay, because I saw something flying around. Okay. Okay, then, if there are no more objections, like person that want to talk, I would proceed with the vote. Michael, are you ready to take the votes?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. And I hope that for the next, we will have congresses ready. But in the meantime, we can proceed like this. The part is one by one, and you can either say yes, no, or abstain. Okay. Norway.
Yes.
Czech Republic. Czech Republic.
Yes.
Brazil.
Yes.
Germany.
Yes.
Italy.
We are abstaining on this.
Israel. Kate. It's tell me, write something. Oh, okay, yes. Greece.
Yep.
Catalonia.
Yes.
Austria.
Yes.
Netherlands.
Yes.
Luxembourg.
Yes.
France. France. We will wait. Switzerland.
Yes.
France, are you there? No, it seems no. Okay, then. Pirate Party of Slovakia, I would. Michael, did you take the vote? Michael? But okay, I took the votes too, and I would say it passed.
Yes, it passed. It's one abstention, one no vote, and 11 yes votes with 0.5 from Catalonia. So it's 10.5 votes. So it passed quorum.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations.
I'm not sure it passed, but whatever.
Okay, so for the next, I would say, how is about the application for Brandenburg? Is it available?
So I have not seen an application from Brandenburg. And I've been looking for it, but no, we never got one.
Okay, because I see that as an applicant, so can please, who did write that the application was there? Please, Michael, were you that were handling the application? Who was handling the application for the board?
That was Bastian.
Okay.
Bastian, are you there?
As a member of the board, I can say that I have not seen an application from Brandenburg. It was a surprise when somebody says that they were applying for membership.
Yeah, well, we've had a few parties who have expressed interest in membership and asked for like the information, but did not end up sending in a completed application. So Brandenburg might have been one of them.
Because I see in the Excel file that they are listed as applicant for observer membership. Okay, then.
There is no application, so we can move on. Is that not the right way to say it?
Oh,
No.
Dan has his hand up.
And I would remind Michael that now you have one more member, because from now on the Pirate Party of Slovakia is allowed to vote.
Okay, I got it.
Now I'm here.
Dan Brazarev from Brazil. Dan from Brazil wants to speak, Chair.
Yeah. Please.
Just to say that I'm talking to Chilean pirates, because there is other time zone. It's much earlier than here, but they had interest, and so I'm talking to them now with about this, because they had interest to be part, but I'm trying to talk to them to solve this question. But I ask if we can not vote not now because they are not here, but if you can vote maybe tomorrow or later.
No.
Wait a moment. Where are we talking about here? Sorry. Dan?
Chile.
Application need to be sent to PPI 4 weeks before the General Assembly.
Yeah, exactly. Did they send an application? Because I saw something about that. Bailey?
No, they did not send a completed application. They did like contact us and expressed interest, and we gave them the information that they needed. Keith, am I correct on that? Yeah. So we don't actually have an application from them. And because of that time limit, right, it has to be 4 weeks before the GA. So I guess it'll have to be next time when we can actually accept them.
Yeah. Okay. Then.
Okay, I'll talk to them. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but also they need to send a complete application with all the requirements to the board, and it must be sent at least 4 weeks before the next General Assembly. Even if if they send it like tomorrow, then it will be handled in the next General Assembly.
Yeah. And that goes for Brandenburg too, and any other interested party.
Okay.
May I have the word?
Who is talking? Sorry.
Yeah, Sebastian is talking. You asked about the application for Brandenburg. I do not know that application, and I think we can postpone that point.
Yeah, in fact, since the board didn't acknowledge the application, then we will not vote on that. So one moment, and I will check the next point on the agenda. I think we are finished with the membership applications. Okay, then this was quick. Actually, at 13, we should have had the agenda discussion and acceptance, but I think we are very forward with the time. So does anyone have objections to the proposed agenda? Do you know where the proposed agenda is? I will put the link in the chat. And if anyone objects to this agenda, please say so, or I mean. Kate, we can do a 5-minute. Okay, Kate. Since we are in any case very, how can I say, for once we are not late, so I think that we can have a let's say a 13 minutes pause, and we will begin again 12:20 Central European Time.
Seconded.
Okay. Carlos, do you want to talk?
No, I second the option like Raymond.
Okay, then.
One quick little thing before we break off. Those that do not have registered in Discourse yet will not be able to go into Discourse and see the agenda. So I've put a link to a blog post where the agenda is at the bottom. And Carlos, please check your private messages. Carlito, Carlos Polo.
Carlos, Switzerland. No, it seems that it's okay. We can maybe talk at 12:20. So the meeting is adjourned at 12:20 or 11:20 GMT.
The recording is paused.
And vote to the delegates that don't come back after the break.
Okay, for those of you still listening, I'm in the process of sending you private messages with your login to Congresses for later voting in there. Please check your private messages from me and then log in with your voting delegate into Congresses. If you are more than one delegate, the other delegates do not log in. They just exist there as guests so they can see what's happening. Thank you. Marco, will you let me know when you have a minute?
Yeah, I am here.
Okay, so status when it comes to voting and congresses. At this point, congresses is being used to write to write the minutes, and it's progressing fine. Half of the countries present are now logged in with their voting delegates. The other half has not seen my messages to them. And 2 of the user accounts are corrupt or existing. I still haven't gotten in touch with our tech support on congresses, but I will let you know as soon as we are in a position to switch over to voting in congresses. But this, the way we're doing it now, is working just fine.
Yeah, for now it goes well, I would say. And I am also very surprised that we are sort of very anticipating. How can I say? Usually we are always late. Instead, today we are even forward in the agenda.
And just for everybody's information, since we in the end voted on the Slovak acceptance, even without the statutes, they are now in congresses for everybody to read, linked to the Slovak Press Party's web.
In the minutes, I think part of the minutes is in a wrong category, as it all is in formalities opening, but some of it should be in agenda discussion and acceptance.
Actually, I think there is only one point on that, which is formalities, meeting chair, secretary, new members. So everything is packed together.
Well, I think we should have agenda discussion before accepting new members, but whatever. I should have pointed out before.
Yeah, this is true, but having the new members before allow them to vote on that too. So
yeah,
but yeah, this is right. Probably it should have been in the point before.
Since then, there's only one opportunity to join the PPI every year. I suppose this is probably better.
I'm back, by the way, and I can work on the minutes, whatever. But we haven't done the agenda discussion, right?
Which discussion? Sorry.
The agenda discussion. So we still have to do that.
Actually, I think I asked if anyone objected to the agenda because actually how can I say, the agenda is proposed by the board, and a change to the agenda is a procedural motion. Actually, I didn't have anyone objecting to the agenda, so for me it's accepted, but if someone objects to that, of course I will put that in vote. I can do another round when the meeting will restart, and I will ask formally if anyone objects to the acceptance of the agenda, because this is a really procedural motion.
Progressus is right now down. I get a 502 bad gateway, so I have no access to write notes there. I am going to set up a pad.
Yes, you should have the backup running from now on. There is coding going on. I'm getting 502 bad gateway every other minute too. So use the backup and share the link to that Etherpad in our webinar chat, please.
Well, I do have a question in between about the today's agenda. I know that there is a timetable given for statutes amendments for 1.5 hours. Do we have any proposals or motions for having changes to the statutes? I haven't found them.
Okay, the meeting isn't open yet, so this is a totally informal talk, but I can tell you that right now, I don't think that we have a quorum for status amendment. Oh yeah, no, sorry, I was confusing with the, no, yeah, we can talk about status amendment I will. I have too many statutes in my head. No, for the PPI, it is okay too.
Yeah, okay. I just found one proposal for statutes amendment only, but I believe that won't last one and a half an hour. So I believe we could amend the whole table in a way, just out of the blue saying so.
Okay, then one moment. When we will reopen the meeting, I will ask if anyone object to the agenda, and I will give you the word if you object to that, so that you can make your remark about it. Is okay?
Fine with me. I just wanted to emphasize that we have so to say time issues in so to say a more positive way.
Okay.
Point of order. Point of order. I'm now starting the recording again.
Okay. Okay, so the meeting is officially reopened. And so I'm going to ask if anyone wants to make changes to the agenda proposal, which says that basically, yeah, we have agenda discussion and acceptance. And that's so after lunch, there are supposed to be the report and the status amendments. But we are very, I would say, anticipating the agenda for now.
Shit.
Sorry? Wojtek? Wojtek, I cannot hear you. Wojtek?
He just forgot his microphone on. You can move on.
Okay. Then I would make one proposal then, since lunch is supposed to be in quite a time. I would propose to have the report before lunch, actually. There is any objections to that?
No, but you have a second from me on that.
Okay, anyone else objects? Or you have other proposals for the agenda, please. Okay, Michael?
I think that maybe we should expand on what Wojtek said before about the member purging, since if there is no outcome from this General Assembly, that it's what it's necessary to do, so we don't struggle with the quorum every year. There probably should be the General Assembly telling the future board to do something like that, or the Court of Arbitration, or whoever is going to participate in that.
We can do that, yeah, but that is a motion, and so we can discuss that when discussing the other motions. Yeah. After the motions that are already presented, there will be the other motion, and that can be proposed. Anything else? Okay, then, if there are no objections, I will proceed with the reports. So, board, treasurer, lay editors, and the COC, I guess it's the Council of the Court of Arbitration. Am I wrong? Bailey?
Yeah, COA is Court of Arbitration, yeah. So I guess we'll start with the board report. Fellow board members, do we want to split this up into each of our sections? Do you want me to just go through it? Okay, all right. Okay. So, I guess first of all, I should have introduced myself earlier. I got nervous and forgot. But my name's Bailey. I'm the current chair of PPI, and also a delegate from Pirates Without Borders. And let's see, let's give you the rundown. So this board over the last year has worked hard on a lot of things, trying to just advance PPI, work towards goals that we set out at the last GA. In some ways, things have gone well. In other ways, things have not gone so well. And we'll talk more about that. So I guess a good place to start is the UN activities. So you know that PPI has special consultative status with ECOSOC. So that allows us to send people to ECOSOC events at UN headquarters in New York and Geneva. And I believe Vienna is also has events as well. I don't think anybody's gone to Vienna yet though. So yes, we have the UN activities. So we've had this year, we've worked on 3 policy papers that were published in reports. So there's the right to work for older people. There's a statement on addressing inequality. There's also a statement on fighting oppression. And there was also a statement that was just submitted at the end of October on affordable housing and social protection. And we're still waiting on that to see if it gets published or not. And the crew in New York, I believe, is also waiting to hear if they can give an oral statement. So there's links here for you guys as well. I'm going to send a link to the board report, and there's links to the statements that were written for the UN. Also, oh, okay, so that's, I'm just looking here. And we also, these are not, oh, were you going to say something, Marco?
Yeah, where did you put the link?
It's just on our board report here. We still got to put it on Discourse, but you will have all of those links available to you. So yeah, so that's this year. Those 3 were from this year, and there were previous papers as well that were published in the past. We had people actually speak at these events as well. There's blog posts on the PPI website that describes these different events. And we have really strong delegations in both New York and Geneva, which is really cool. So there's, you know, always stuff happening there. There's also a UN working group now, which is headed up by Gregory Engels and Pat Meckler. There's a Trello group as well, where people are talking and organizing around that. There was a meeting just last week where we went over all of this stuff. And this working group gave a really good presentation about our role at the UN. And there will be future meetings as well. So I hope that more people can attend. Yeah, there's, I guess, some people who are already signed up for 2020 ground passes. So this is work that's going to continue. We kind of created a new position within PPI, which is Vice Secretary for UN Relations, and that's Pat Meckler. So the UN stuff is a really strong point for PPI. I would say it's probably the strongest thing we have going right now. And everybody who has organized around that, I mean, there was getting us into ECOSOC, and then now there's, you know, the work that comes with it. And folks have been really active on that. And everybody's doing a really great job. And I would encourage all of you, if you're interested in attending events, in you know, working on written statements, definitely do that. Get involved so that, yeah, just get involved because it's really important, and we could use all of you. So let's see, what else? Activism, you know, some of us, I mean, pirates, I feel like are always involved in activism. And that includes some of us on the board as well, who get involved in all sorts of stuff. Like Ray and I, for example, are pretty active in like whistleblower support stuff and you know, all sorts of human rights related social movements and that kind of thing. Lots of us are in the pirate movement, right? I think just what we're missing right now is kind of a unified front where we get everybody in the global community working together on activist projects and stuff. So that's a thing that we got to work on going forward for sure. I mean, one thing, like during the EU elections, you know, we got to interview some of the top candidates and just help, you know, put them forward. And just, you know, generate hype for the elections. And EU elections are really successful, which was cool. You know, that's really great, not only for the pirates in Europe, but for everybody to see that, like, yeah, we can get people elected. We can be successful in that sense. Let's see. So those are some of the strengths over the last year. Now some of the the weaknesses. I'm just going to be super honest about this because I don't see any other way to do it. It's been a really rough year for the PPI board. We lost people over the year, board members who stepped out for various reasons, including our chairman, Guillaume, who was elected in Munich. He ended up having to step down. So, you know, of course, when that happens, it can really shake things up. So that has not been easy to deal with, just losing people and you know, having to reevaluate things as a result. We've had some issues with our bank account too. I mean, this has been kind of an ongoing thing with PPI over the years, is just getting proper access to the bank account, having that financial transparency, those regular reports. So it's getting fixed. We've been in touch, Gregory and I have been working with one of our cashiers to make sure that we can actually transfer the responsibility, get people access who need access, such as chairs and, you know, treasurer who gets elected, because this has all just been really just a problem in the past. And I think lack of communication has been a reason for that, because back in 2016, we appointed cashiers and there just wasn't a whole lot of communication with them, if any. So, you know, when that happens, it's you kind of forget about it, and then all of a sudden you have to deal with the finances, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like we have not, you know, there has not been nearly enough communication. And I think going forward, what needs to happen is the financial teams need to meet regularly, even if it's just for 10 minutes to give a quick little report. There's that. Of course, you know, income is a challenge because invoices and stuff. Members are not getting invoices. So, you know, that creates a problem for the budget going forward. And also just like identifying costs and stuff, because sometimes things are still a little bit unclear about what we actually have to put money towards and what we don't. So yeah. And this is and this is like complete like responsibility of the board. I personally take responsibility for any issues we've had and anything that has not been done properly or whatever. I mean, I was vice chair before, and then, you know, so I can admit I should have known more. I should have been able to do more back then, as well as now. So I am fully willing to accept that. I think so. I think I summed up the report okay. I don't think I missed anything. If any of my fellow board members feel like I missed anything, or if I didn't explain something properly, if there's anything you want to add, then please do. And yeah, I think that concludes the board report. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Bailey. Are there any questions towards Bailey? No? Okay. Is there any other board member before we proceed with the treasurer report, actually, that wants to add something to what Bailey said? No. Okay, then. So the treasurer can please proceed with their own report.
Hi, I'm Dan from Brazil. I'm the treasurer. I will put the link for treasury report that is on Discourse. I put on Zoom. But as Bailey said, and thank you Bailey for the report. This year we passed through a lot of questions and troubles. So it's kind of we try to not kind of rebuild PPI, but to restructure it for we to achieve. And the problem with treasury is because this year we had a lot of problems in getting access to the bank account. So in the same time that we are trying to make things, we couldn't get a lot of things like information of our balance account. So so this year was kind of not all little things happening, financial stuff, as we say, because we had a goal to register in Switzerland, but as Billy said, Guilherme, who was our main articulator there, he resigned. So we lost this goal as positive. This goal was more difficult to solve. So basically, we paid fees for bank 5 Switzerland francs. I don't know if it's the unit, but we had a subdivision of Czech Republic pirates for Think Twice 4, because that was postponed, so the subversion of Czech Republic, Czech pirates, we postponed it to next year. We didn't had a lot of fees. Or in opposite, we had a little number of countries paying their fees. So we didn't have a lot of budget this year.
Dan, if you want, you can send me in Portuguese. I can help you and translate what you want to say. I can give you a hand if you want.
No, it's
okay.
It's okay. I'm speaking 2 languages, so that's the problem. So basically, we hadn't a lot of money going in and going out from our account. We are trying to solve our bank problems, because we are getting access there now. We are trying to get to see to take responsible to take the person, the board member who will be the responsible for the account, and next thing we're trying to make to search new funds for PPI, because this year we are trying to make a restructuration of all the board, because for example, I became the treasurer in 2 or 3 months, so a lot of things that are happening at the same time. But basically, I will put the link of Treasury report there. We have a budget, a revision budget for 2019, and a proposal for 20. But we try to make a realistic budget for 20, but some points that are important is mainly our IT problem, because we had debt in IT, and that we couldn't fit in this last budget, so we are trying to solve it now. Sorry for my bad English, because I'm trying to think in 2 languages and solve questions, and I'm open for some questions that I know that you probably have.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Are there any questions for the treasurer?
If you don't mind, I would like to summarize some of the things that Dan mentioned. Is that okay before you open up for questions?
Yeah.
Please, Ray.
Okay.
Help us.
Yeah. A few times Dan said problems with access to the bank account. The explanation for that is very simple. Our chairman, Guillaume, from Switzerland, ran into real-life troubles, and in periods we're so busy that the bank account wasn't easily accessible, but it was accessible. When he stepped down, it became truly inaccessible, and we had to make some moves to open that up. It hasn't resulted in any problems for us because we simply have not spent or have needed to spend any money in the period where we did not have access. There were no bills that we should have paid then when it was inaccessible. We have had less income than was budgeted by Munich 2018 General Assembly. There are twofold the reasons for that. We have had trouble getting the invoices out to our members and response to those invoices. We've had lack in our procedures when it comes to economy, with reporting to the board, reporting our real-time economy to the board. As such, the information about our financials has not ended up on the wiki. As such, the result has been low transparency. All of that has been fixed by now. Bookkeeping is up to date. And we, as a board, who are responsible for not spending more money than we have succeeded in not spending more money than we have. Next year, the income will increase because 2018 Munich the membership decided to raise the membership fees. And there is more room for a higher activity next year. That should be an approximate summary of our annus horribilis, as I sometimes refer to it as. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Michael?
I just wanted to note that I was the very unsuccessful treasurer before then during this annus horribilis, and I didn't really do anything in that. Being very frustrated that I didn't even have the access to any information about the income. So that's I just wanted to publicly apologize for that I was unable to really do anything during my tenure as treasurer. And I really thank Dan that even after how I ended my treasury career, that he was willing to step up and do that. And also to Ray, who helped in the meantime. Huge deal. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question now. I remember this is not the first time that PPI has problem with bank accounts, because I remember that in 2011, and we were discussing that in 2012 in Prague, there was an account that was inaccessible. I don't remember for this reason. I think because the person who had the account credentials just went up into smoke or something. And actually, I have a question if there is a way to prevent this sort of thing happening in the future.
If you guys don't mind, I would like to respond. The reason for what happened in 2011, we do not, I think, need to go into. Something like that you described happened, Marco. So we created redundancy by having three people have access to the bank account, and that redundancy must be kept so that it's not possible that the account becomes accessible again. So we have learned from what happened in our year, and there are still some procedures that needs to be made for the next period of the board. But those of my colleagues that will stay on are fully aware of this and will really make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Thank you. Thomas? Thomas Gohl, you wanted to talk, right?
I retreat.
Okay. Are there other questions? Did anyone raise a hand? Please raise it. Okay.
Yes, I have a question. It's very interesting to see the report, but as I write it, I think one of the next issues is that we have to find or get or have in some way a commission that will help us to get donations. We have been actually looking down here as a main representative of PPI for Geneva. I've been talking around, and we know, for example, that we will get donations in more of the countries just only for fiscal reasons, taxes. So there's a lot of foundations and institutions that help another NGOs, as we have the same kind of level in United Nations, that are in some way financed every year by donations from institutions, foundations, and even governments.
Sorry, Carlos, I hear some background sound. Can you do something about that?
Yes, I mean, it was only my comment. I think we have to work about it. Thank you.
If you don't mind, Marco, we agree, all of the board agree that we should look at additional funding instead of or in addition to membership dues and fees. We have not had in the board composition people with the right skill sets or enough time and resources to actually set those things in motion. It should be one of the things that this board gives to the next board as one of the top 5 things to look at: registration registration in Geneva and a search for funding. And I know that the work has already been started and that there's a collaborative spreadsheet that covers this. And I'm sure that the new board will grab that going forward. Thank you.
Okay. Other comments? No? Good. We can
Lucy?
Okay, Lucy.
I have only a question to the fees because I'm treasurer of in my country in Luxembourg, and I don't know if we received for this year a mail with conto number or like this. So it would be maybe start for the next to communicate it. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, that was a remark, so I don't think it requires an answer. Linda?
Are we solvent? In other words, do we have enough funds to pay our obligations at this time?
Yes, Linda, that's what I tried to say, but in different words. We have spent less money than we have coming in. The books and the budget, the revised budget, are balanced. So this board has fulfilled its physical responsibility. Yes.
Raymond, can you please wait until I give you the word, because I want first to ask for all the questions so they can be answered at once. Thank you. Michael?
I just wanted to reply to Lucia on the invoice for the last year. I was sending it to Luxembourg. I sent it to some general email address. I don't really remember it. Something like info at blah, blah, blah. And to Sven as well. So it's somebody definitely received it. But that was for the last year. For this year, 2019, they will be sent after the new year.
Okay. Are there other comments on that? Are there other comments on bank account or for the treasurer? No. I don't see anyone. Okay, Bailey.
I just want to say thank you to Dan for all of his work over the last couple of months. He has only been our treasurer for, I don't know, I think you said 2 or 3 months. I think that's about right. And he has really stepped up and done a lot of work to make sure that we have a budget to present and a report. So thank you, Dan. You're amazing. We appreciate you. That's it.
Good. Are there other comments? Since I cannot see every participant, just give me a word if you want to talk. No? Perfect. Okay, next, do we have any lay auditor present here in the meeting? Please talk if there is any lay auditor. No? Okay. Do we have some members from the Court of Arbitration, from the Council of the Court of Arbitration here?
Yes, we have.
Okay. Would you please proceed with the report for the Court of Arbitration?
I will, and well, as always, thank you for not blaming us for doing almost nothing, because as we all know, Court of Arbitration is the best to have nothing to do at all. But this year we had something to do. Early November, the board has asked us about the status of membership for 2 parties or members, 1 observer member, 1 full member. And we just had to convene once to decide upon it, because we've done our research and found out they are not any longer able to be a member of the party. So we decided upon it, and that's all we had to do for good.
Okay, so that was the full report, I guess?
Definitely, yes. Nothing else to report.
Okay. Are there any questions? Okay, just unmute if anyone has questions. No one. Okay. So we are finished with the report. Actually, we have still time, but the status amendments, I think, are an important topic, and I would say that it would be probably not correct to accelerate them before lunch. So if there are no objections, I will proceed with a slightly longer lunch break, since actually theoretically the status amendment were for 15:45, but the reopening is for 15. So are there any objections if I adjourn the meeting at 15 Central European Time? Wojtek.
Yeah, I would ask, as I need to go at about 4:30 and won't join the meeting for the day, then if we can move, I don't know, as we have time, if we can move the next point about 20 or 30 minutes up in the timetable.
Yeah, in the sense when we will reopen the meeting, we will do immediately status amendments, right?
Yes.
Okay, I see also Austria that wants to talk. Yeah, you have the right to talk.
Yeah, thank you. I'd also just rather move on and keep things going, because we're doing an awful lot of pauses. So let's just proceed and therefore close it early.
Okay, so basically the proposal is to go on with the status amendment and then close the meeting afterwards. Is that correct?
Seconded the motion.
Okay, Raymond, one moment. I would like a confirmation from Wojtek, and I don't know with for Austria. What you want is to proceed right now with statutes amendment. Did I understand correctly?
I'm okay with that motion.
Okay. So
Also,
also,
okay, I've just been objecting to make just another pause. Just let's
Okay.
move on. Let's keep this
Okay.
going.
Thank you. Raymond.
Yes, I really have this need to understand what we're saying. Is there a motion on the floor that has not had a second yet that says we should skip lunch? Question mark.
Second that, and I don't. If that's needed, I second that motion.
So basically the motion is to move lunch after the status amendment. Is that the motion? Or Raymond, please comment on that.
Well, I haven't made a motion, but I would like to have a lunch break for practical reasons at 1 o'clock.
So you want a lunch break now? Okay. Michael Sinclair first.
As I've read in the statutes revisions on the discourse, there's only actually one written change for the statutes. So it would be quite a fast position to do. And then it's done for the day. And we could actually close this very quickly today and get back to pirate beer.
I retract my motion based on that statement. So feel free to ask the membership to skip lunch. You're muted.
Yeah, okay. Michael Gill.
I just wanted to propose that the lunch can be shortened, perhaps for about 1 hour instead of 90 minutes, but it's probably mute in case we skip it altogether. So.
Okay, Wojtek. Wojtek.
Trying to work a few things around here. I'm okay with both ways, either shortening the lunch break for 1 hour or moving forward immediately.
Okay, Linda.
I second the motion to drop lunch and just finish for the day by doing the statutes review now.
Okay, so is there anyone objecting to? Okay, Michael.
So I would suggest we should vote on this. We have one amendment to the revisions of the statutes, and it's going to be, I think, a fast vote. We just have to vote if we want to take the break now or we carry on, and then we're finished for the day.
Yeah, actually, we probably will not even have to vote on that unless there are objections, because this is a procedural motion. So actually, does anyone object to proceed right now with statutes amendment? Please open your mic and voice if you object to take the statutes amendment now. Good.
Nobody is signaling either.
Yeah, so we will proceed. Okay, then let me check the statutes amendment that are here that for some reason I don't see in the GA proposal statutes revision. For some reason I cannot see. If I remember correctly, it was proposed by the Arab Party of Israel. At least I saw that.
It's in the chat here and also in the minutes. And discourse, it's with a link to discourse.
Okay, yeah, because for some reason I cannot see that. Okay, can you please, Kate, present the amendment?
Yes, so this is again the same amendment that we proposed at the last GA. It's an amendment to increase the board size by 2 members, as well as 2 additional alternate members. The reasoning being is that our board is right now 5 members, as well as a chair and vice chair, and we struggle to accomplish all of the tasks needed to run PPI, even with the addition of other volunteers. Since these are all volunteer positions entirely, we see no reason to avoid having additional members. We understand the idea of having a limited size management, and that's great, but we also at the same time feel that we can benefit tremendously by having just a couple more people, and we can prevent a situation like we have right now with no alternate members remaining, and that the board itself is in danger of extinction. So we really feel that and hope that other people will support this motion or propose other solutions that can get us over this crisis. Thank you.
Do anyone wants to comment? Linda?
I second that motion. I can see the need for it. Administratively, the people who are running for alternates now, could we ask them if they want to vote, run for full member? Is that technically doable, or do we just increase the board as of next year so that people know what they're running for?
Michael?
I would suggest keeping the board as it is, because the board can actually name people who can work for PPI. That would not be a problem to getting other people working for us. But if we have too many members on the board, it could get complicated and more destructive as constructive. I'm a very big fan of keeping it simple, and the board has the right to name people to work for them. So I don't think it's a very big problem to get more people on board and work. I mean, I volunteered a few times to work for the board. It's not a problem for me, and you just have to officially name a person as a councillor for the board, or we could make a title that they're actually working for the PPI.
There are 3 hands up, Marco.
I wrote the order just now. So I noted. Wojtek, please, you are next.
My time to speak?
I hear you.
Okay, so I wrote kind of a counter proposal to that. I'm sorry I haven't posted it before, but I tried to upgrade the wording of it. So it also suggests to have 7 board members as follows, but the board to be of 7 board members, not because I think 7 is the reasonable number of people to have in a group to be able to work efficiently. Also, I would like to establish a better system for elections so that we wouldn't have separate elections for additional board members and those alternate board members. I think that people that passed quota for additional board members but don't fit into the requirement system should be considered alternate board members, and we can skip the elections and make ourselves more efficient. So I try to provide links for this either in the PET minutes and in the what is it? Discourse, yes.
One moment before we proceed. actually it is possible to change a status amendment if the proposal, I mean, if Kate and the Party of Israel agree to that, but it's not possible to have a counter proposal to a status amendment, because status amendment must be presented at least 4 weeks before the General Assembly.
Okay.
Okay, now before we proceed, Michael?
First of all, not what I wanted to say, but I absolutely agree with Wojta that we definitely need more alternate members, since we used up all of them this year. So this is definitely the way to assure that. And I also would like to, as a current board member who will have to stay here for 1 more year at least, I would like to have a bigger board, certainly. To me, I believe that being a board member is not really an incentive, but it kind of pushes you to do more than being just appointed by the board.
Okay, Raymond.
Yes, I want to ask our members here now to vote yes for this proposal. There is a reason it comes up for the 2nd year in a row. And our knowledge on what is needed, what was lacking, and what works or not should weigh at least a little bit more than what Michael Sinclair thinks will work or not. The statement you just asked, appoint people and ask people to work. We have tried. We have tried every which way for 3 years now. And it has not worked. And as Mike says, when you get an office and you're elected by a set of members, that pushes you, and everybody needs pushing. And I really, really, really want you to vote yes. Even though I'm leaving the board, I would like this board to be more qualified, have a wider set of skills, so that we can do a better job than we have done this last year. Thank you.
Okay. First, yeah, I saw you, Michael. First, I will give the word to Bastian that didn't talk yet. Sebastian?
Thank you. You can increase the board to 20 members. It makes no difference. It has to do with the discipline. And if you want to volunteer for a board membership, you should be aware that it's only 1 year or maybe 2 years. And that's it. I think everybody who is volunteering can see the future and can decide prior to volunteer for board member to decide it. It is unnecessary that we need so many people in the board, and if we have a better climate in the board, it should be better for our work together. So we do not need the increasing. Thank you.
Okay, Michael Sinclair.
Maybe I could explain. I don't really want to be a board member, but I do want to work for PPI and get stuff done. So I have no problem if you say, okay, I'm a working member of a working group or something, or announce something. I don't care about titles or something. I'm just a pirate who wants to bring this whole thing forward. Okay, but if the more of you choose to have a bigger board, it's okay with me in the end. It's not a problem. But I would actually never ask to be a board member. It's not. I'm not like a leadership. I'm a background person who just wants to push things forward as a whole. And I would always decline a board membership or something like that, unless everyone asks, "Oh, please become a board member." Oh, but it's okay. I see the discussion is going positively for more member of the board, so I wouldn't be against it. if the majority wants that and the experience of the board has spoken and they suggest this suggestion, we could try it. I'm a person who says I'd work for the board and you can see my work in the next couple of years. And then decide, wow, he's done a lot of shit for PPI, you know. But just voting board members, I've experienced a lot of years of voting board members in and they do nothing.
Okay, thank you. Bailey?
I just want to say that I completely understand the point about discipline. I also understand the point about, you know, in a lot of cases, having a smaller group as opposed to a bigger one can be a lot more effective. I totally get that. I just want to kind of echo what Mike and Ray were saying about and just what this motion says about, like, you know, as a board over the last year, last couple of years even, you know, we've struggled a bit and we've dropped the ball on some things. And I can tell you, it is not because we're not passionate about what we're doing. It is not because we're just saying like, oh, we don't give a fuck. Like, no, like, sorry about swearing, but that's my point, is that it's not because people on this board are not dedicated. It's not because people on this board are not disciplined. It's because it just is a lot of work to keep this board running. And I think that we would really benefit from having a couple more people. And like, the thing is, we can do both. Like, we can increase the board size and have lots of volunteers as well. So it's not, this isn't like an either or thing. We can do both, and we should do both. We should, in my opinion, we should increase the board size and we should bring on lots of volunteers who are not necessarily board members. So thank you.
Okay, next one, Mikael.
I just wanted to shortly express my disagreement with what Bastian has said, that if you are a candidate for board membership, that you know what you are going to do, and it's for just 1 year or 2 years, so you know what your situation is. Hell no. I moved cities once during that year. I changed jobs 3 times during this year, and I changed apartment twice, and I'm in the process of moving once again. So you definitely have no idea what's going to happen to you during that tenure, and that's proven by all the board members that resigned this year.
Okay, next one. Who is talking for Pirate Party of Austria? Actually, that I didn't understand.
Thanks. If the board says they want more members, I'm totally on board with that. Out of experience, I do know that if you have bigger teams, the quorum raises, it's more complicated to get into decision makings. It's more quarrel about what the actual point is going to be. So I'm not the biggest fan of that out of experience. But what I think is, what really would help is not to have more chieftains arguing about what's the right thing to do, but to actually give everyone in the board, or 2 guys on the board, a specific topic they work on, a field of expertise. You have a treasurer, you know what he's doing, everybody knows what he ought to do, but all the other fields that we need to get done are just somewhere floating around between the board. Somebody picks it up, or maybe not, or whatsoever. So that's the thing. If you want to make the board bigger, which I think can be a good idea, why not attach it to specific topics, to specific fields where the people work on?
Okay, one moment. Can you please state your name, because I cannot see that. Pirate Party of Austria.
Desert Road, Pirate Party Austria, delegate.
Desert Road. Okay. Okay, one moment. The next one is Linda. No, sorry. First there is a Wojtek.
Thank you. I would just ask if we can discuss and vote the two parts of the amendment separately, because I'm open to, having more board members, but I don't think that we need to have a specific number of alternate board members in the statutes. We can have 2, we can have 5, we can have 20. I don't care. I don't think that there needs to be a number, especially if when one board member abdicates, new one is taken from the alternate member list, and then we should, I don't know, run a general assembly to elect new alternate board member. That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, we have now Linda. Then there will be Raymond and Kate. Since you are the proposer, I will first list of questions and objections, and then I will give again the word to you. So now next is Linda and next Raymond.
Thank you. Ideally, the board would be able to adjust their size themselves according to need. What I think is important here is that we listen to the board members when they say they need this. They've been living it, they've been doing the work. And I think the worst thing that can happen is that we end up dissolved because there is no board to make any decisions or arrange general assemblies or anything. Becoming defunct is really not an option. I think the lesser evil is to have perhaps a bit too many people. I really don't see that things are going to stop working because there's disagreement and discussion among a board of pirates. I trust the board members to be adults, to come to a quorum among themselves about what needs to get done and to delegate tasks accordingly. I also want to add quickly that there is no way you can know what's going to happen to your health or your life over the next 2 years. You could get cancer, you could get run over, nobody knows. So to say that people shouldn't run for board membership unless they can guarantee staying a year or two, nobody can. And that's just not not feasible. Thank you.
Okay, Raymond.
Yes, I've heard all the arguments that points towards keeping the team small, and I have no major disagreements with them. But I reiterate, we have worked together, most of us, for 3 years, some for 2 years, and this is what we need and this is what we want. And I can tell you that when we complicated this and had 3 different suggestions to what the board size would be in Munich, and we managed to miss expanding the board with 1 vote, I immediately almost went head desk, because I was seeing what was happening. 3 of the board members had their life changed, and automatically it meant my workload doubled and tripled at times. And it was not very fun. And I will say that the board has asked for this, and also make a note that I am asking for this when I walk out. This is the only thing I ask you to do, is to increase the board size so that those that continue and come in can do an even better job. We have activity planned for the UN, and that will further give bigger workload to those that are in it. So please vote for the suggestion. See how that works. If you get the right people, it will be a positive. If it is a negative, prepare a motion that regulates this better well in advance of the next General Assembly. Thank you.
Okay, I need a sort of quick 5 minutes break. I can either pause the meeting for 5 minutes or give to Bailey the proceedings until I come back. Would it be okay to have a 5 minutes pause?
Second.
Okay.
Whatever you guys want.
Okay, I note that there are other people that want to talk. Actually, I note for Michael Sinclair. Yeah, one moment. I will need to. Okay, let's do like this. I will come back at 13:29 Central European Time, 12:29 GMT. Okay.
I'm now pausing the recording until 13:29.
Okay, good.
Has just happened.
Just so you know, Vojta, your counter proposal got marked as spam and stopped because you typed so fast they thought you were a machine. In discourse, of course.
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, it's funny that you can be that fast.
You copy links, you can.
On a side note, this is incredible. We're going through the motions really well, and I'm happy that this meeting is a little bit better than it has been previously. I know last year Vojta tried his hardest, but we made it complicated for him. Let's hope the rest of the GA continues the same way.
Remember this moment tomorrow morning where we try to reach the quorum again.
No shit, eh?
Yeah.
I think that was the
Not if we started
lowest
drinking early.
that was the lowest point last year, right? The Sunday morning. It was really hard to get the people.
Yeah, we were waiting for a while. I think we start a little later tomorrow anyway.
We are set to start at 10, but we can discuss whether or not we can start at 11. But I'm thinking we open it at 10 anyway, and just be patient.
How many candidates do we have? I haven't really.
I'm now starting the recording again. The chair is back.
Yeah, we will wait still 1 minute since that was the time given.
Marco, you're doing awesome as chair.
Thank you.
I mean, everybody here is amazing.
Okay. It's 13:29 Central European Time. So the meeting is open again. Now,
I'm sorry. There's a new person here from Portugal, André Rosa. I think that should be reflected in the minutes.
Perfect. Then we have a new member. Okay. Good.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, but you know.
No, it's perfect. Noted in the, please, Kate, note in the minutes that a new member was added. Okay, Michael, 1 moment. First, I will proceed with giving the word to Kate before any other objection is raised, because I remember that also the two Michael wanted to talk, but it seems that there are a lot of objections. So I will give a word to Kate for answering. And then I would proceed with what Thomas Gold suggested. That is a straw poll to see if there is enough support to go for a formal vote. Okay, Kate, you have the word.
Yes, so thank you everyone for your viewpoints. That was really quite a good debate. And I think that's kind of what we're looking for a little bit more too, is a bit more of a debate, because we do, as Mike noted, we do have near unanimous decision making usually. And so it would be good to have a few alternative positions. Now, there was another comment of people that don't want to run for the board and would like to be involved, and that's great. In fact, we do have a vice secretary position. We have 4 vice secretaries at the moment, and they are a lifesaver for us doing our UN organization, our conference needs. We need another vice secretary for fundraising, which is something that we mentioned we desperately lack. So for anyone that is in that position, that wants to be involved and wants to be committed without being a board member, then we do have that vice secretary role. In the GA before that, we said that we were going to have the alternate members be the ones who were providing the additional support. So yes, we're working with different solutions, but we don't have much to lose by this. So it is, in my opinion, worth as others of you noted, worth the attempt. As far as the alternate member proposal, we also think that that's a great solution that Vojta has added on here in terms of how the voting is configured and whether we just let the runoff of the voting for board members serve as our alternate board members. So therefore, we do have a good well of supporters to stand in when we reach a situation where a board member is forced to resign for any reason. That's it for me. Thanks.
Okay, before proceeding, yeah, 1 moment, Raymond. I will first, I see that there is people that wants to talk, but first, since there are a lot of objections, actually, I would first ask if anyone has questions to Kate, not objections. Michael, what you want is a question or an objection?
I just wanted to know the Portugal if they had a voting right and upgrade my voting list.
Yeah, I wrote that. So, okay, I will proceed with a simple vote to see if, because I heard a lot of objections. So I would second what Thomas Gold say and proceed with the straw poll to understand if there is enough support to go on with the discussion. In that case, we will go on with the discussion. If there is no support for this, then we will proceed with the next point. Any objection to this?
Seconded.
Okay, then. So this is not for the statute amendment per se. This is a straw poll to see if you want to go on to discuss the statute amendment.
No,
Norway.
No, it was a real straw poll. If that would be accepted, I did it in writing on purpose, though I did not need to, according to our rules.
But that is a sort of, for me, it's a sort of procedural motion.
It's a procedural motion mentioned in the rules of procedure under Article 7, 3, number whatever. And the motion sounds, would the member accept the motion? And the motion is named procedural motion to call for straw poll. If there is an objection to it, it will be decided upon. If there is no objection, the straw poll continues, starts.
Sorry, then I think that I did, because what I understood is that if it's a straw poll to have the continued discussion or to get this point of the agenda for today.
I know the procedural motion to end a debate is a different one.
Ah, okay, okay. So we will proceed with the straw poll to end the debate now, basically.
No, I just want to have a straw poll, that's all.
Okay, so you want to know how many support the idea before proceeding. Is that right?
Yeah.
Because actually straw poll on, what is the question about the straw poll that you are going to?
The straw poll sounds, would the members accept the given motion?
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's proceed then. Did you listen the question? So, Norway.
Yes, I would accept the current motion.
Czech Republic. Czech Republic.
Please.
Czech Republic.
What's the question, please?
The question is a straw poll on if you would accept that amendment, that status amendment. It's not a vote on the status amendment, it's a straw poll.
No.
Brazil?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Germany?
Yes.
Italy?
Yeah.
Israel?
Yes.
Greece?
Yes.
Catalonia?
Abstain.
Austria?
Abstain.
Netherlands?
Yes.
Luxembourg?
Yes.
France? France?
Not present.
Not present. Switzerland? Switzerland? Not present. Slovakia?
Yes.
Portugal?
Abstains.
Okay. Then I would say that there is enough support to continue. Okay, does is there other people that want to? Okay, Wojtek, you want to talk? There is other people that want to talk before we proceed with the actual vote on the status amendment.
Yes.
See all the signals.
Wait. Please raise your hand. Okay, Wojtek, please talk.
Yes, I would like to explain my vote. I'm okay with enlarging the board, but I'm not okay with the way we do alternate board members, and therefore I asked for the motion to be split, and as it is not, I'm not able to support as a whole.
Okay, so you were Kate?
Yes, we are also okay with the motion to be split between the vote on the board, 2 additional board members, as well as the vote on the, I'm sorry, 2 board members, 2 more board members, and the vote on the additional board members as a runoff of the initial vote on board members.
Okay.
Alternate, I use the word additional and alternate incorrectly there. The vote on the alternate members being the runoff of the vote on the board members without a necessary limit, but only an order for the alternate members.
Okay, how much time do you need to split that so that the members can read both of them? Okay.
Give me just a couple minutes and I'll have it ready.
Okay. Michael, in the meantime, do you want to add something?
It's already split. It's written down into two parts anyway. So we could take the 2B and the 2A separately.
Okay. Okay, then we will take 2A and 2B separately. Raymond?
Yes, to those of us that aren't too into all of these things and how they work, the well-meaning addition from Wojtek, it is possible, not because he submitted it 4 weeks before, but it's possible because Israel has agreed to change the motion to satisfy the good idea that Wojtek had. So that's what's happening now, and Keith is making it so we can writing it down so we can look at it and then vote on it in 2 different innings. Thank you.
I see a motion from Thomas Gohl. Yeah, actually we are going on waiting for Kate to split between. So we will proceed to vote. Are the motions ready, Kate?
They basically are. They are at the bottom of the section in Congresses called statute amendments. And again, I just copied, Congresses has fallen down again, so I'm going to paste it into the chat here and in the pad.
Okay, it's okay also to modify on this course. I mean, to have them split on this course, that it's maybe easier.
Yeah.
Just adding a label A and B so that we know what we are voting on.
So I've added it into the minutes as A and B in the pad, and I'll fix that in Congresses, and it's also there in your chat. I will add it to discourse now too.
Okay. Okay, so where is the one in Congresses? Oh.
If I may, the fastest way to show the text to the members is for you, Keith, to share your screen so the text is visible, making it easy for us to see what we're voting on.
Yeah, probably. Or also on this course could be a good idea because actually in Congresses it's quite hard to see them.
I'm a bit frustrated here, but I caused it, so no worries. We are now trying to put the motion on 4 places. I would like to see what is changing to what.
There are, if you, can you reach Congressus? But there is also another, okay, one moment with, there is a note from Gregory Engels. Clem, can please okay, Russia has problem participating. They say that they have sent a list of delegates, but they have got not any, they didn't have any answer back. Raymond, do you want to reply on this?
Yes. The way that you join here is that you go to the blog post, and there you find the links, and then you click the link, and in you are. The thing that may be confusing is that they didn't get a response of an email. That's just a formality where they confirm who the delegates are. So the fact that they did not get a response to that is the bad part here. It came quite late, and we forgot to reply. We would have replied simply with a link to the blog post.
Okay, so Gregory, are you in contact with them right now?
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm here at the Russian conference. Yeah, I'm in contact with them right now, and they refer that they get this message. Currently, 18 of 36 national parties have registered for the event. Those who have not registered should either fill the form online or send an email or to one of the to membership or one of the board member indicated that you intend to participate. They did the second option, they sent an email. So they were not aware that they need to fill in the form. I direct them to fill in the webinar registration form, correct?
You direct them to the link that is the latest in the chat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I did already, okay, but I do it again.
Yeah, the text that you shared with us that they relied on, I don't have no idea where that comes from. But I can see that it is adding to the confusion. But please give them this link, and my apologies that someone didn't answer their email.
Okay, Wojtek?
I see the split that Keith did, but I need to point out that the part he identified as my counter proposal is change not for the statutes, but for rules of procedure, and there needs to be change of statutes before this change of rules of procedure can be done. I'll try to communicate that with him somehow.
Yeah, but wait a moment. The rules, okay. A counter proposal in this case can be accepted by those that are making the proposal, but it cannot be a counter proposal to be put on vote for the reason we said before. Raymond, do you want to talk?
No, I'm sorry, I'm playing with a ring.
Okay.
What happened
again? So actually, if Kate made a modification and it's a small modification, that's okay. But having a completely different proposal that is submitted at the last moment, yeah, that is not okay. So I would wait one word from Gregory if the Pirate Party of Russia can actually join, and so they can vote on the issue. Gregory, are they joining now or they will join tomorrow?
I'm not sure because we have I speak with somebody from the board and he passes on the messages to the international team. Please give me 10 seconds to clarify that, okay?
Okay, in the meantime, Bastian?
Yeah, it's quite easy. Keith said he wanted to split it in 2A and 2B. 2A of the motion here, statute amendments. 2A is in this motion. Other board also requires a change or to account of or increase 5 to 7 alternate board members. And 2B is the rest. 2 additional board additional members will be elected as follows. Blah blah. This is 2A and 2B. It is not that we have in the congresses. Thank you.
Yeah, but actually, even calling them 2 would be. I mean, there are no other status amendment as far as I know. I don't even know the one, what was that, but that's okay. If we want to call them 2A and 2B, I don't know if it's possible to amend the chat text. Kate? No, but I mean, that's okay. I will wait for a bit more to see if Russia can join us. But I would urge Gregory to come back with a reply as soon as possible. If not, I will call for the vote in, I would say, maximum 5 minutes. Okay. Wojtek?
Okay, in the, not Congress, the other thing, there is, I think, the vote A is prepared. It just adds 2 additional members to the board. Like the wording could be better, but whatever. But the motion B that Keith put there, what he put there is change to the rules of procedure, not change to the statutes. I put the change to the statutes after that.
Wait a moment. What is the change of the rules of procedure that you are proposing?
We have rules of procedure. We are not, well, maybe we are following them. I don't know at the moment. They are on the wiki. But what can you find on the, what's it called again? Not congresses, Discord. On the Discord, on the Statute Revisions Board 12, the second B motion you can find there, it's not proposed as a change for statutes, it's proposed as a change for rules of procedure. I don't think we can vote to change rules of procedure at this moment.
Well, theoretically,
although I would like to change them, there needs to be change to the statutes before that.
Sorry, I don't understand what is the objections that you are making.
Yeah, because we are working on 4 places and you can't see what I can see. And
yeah, I agree on that. So one moment, there is Linda, did you want to talk? I didn't understand if you were waving for talking or not. No, okay. So we have Bastian and Gregory.
Yeah, it's easy. We're discussing the text which is in the congresses.
Not to give everyone.
Sorry? Okay, fine. And there's a section B, additional board members, blah, blah. This has nothing to do with the change of the statutes. Wojtek is correctly right that he would erase that amendment to this motion. So we discussing only the motion which is presented in the discourse. I don't know why we need 10 tools for a simple thing, but we have it now. And in the statute amendment motion in the discourse, it's very clear what we should change. That's point 2a and point 2b. Maybe we can change it in the congresses that we know about that motion, everything. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't understand what is needed to change actually. Okay, Raymond. One moment, Gregory.
Gregory. Yeah, so the message from Pirate Party Russia that they will not join today, so we should not wait for them with voting.
Okay.
You on a short notice day.
Okay, thank you.
Don't want to hold off.
Raymond?
Yes, I think I'm not the only one, but I'm not getting what is going on. It would be easier if, as I suggested, someone takes the text in one place, puts it up on a screen share so that we know what we are actually talking about. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to ask a couple of questions to try to figure out what we are talking about. And this is not a criticism of the speakers. This is just a description of how stupid I am. Is it so that 2A we can vote on? It does not collide with any rules of procedure that are on our wiki. Part 2, is 2B such that we have to change the rules of procedure before we can vote on 2B? Question mark.
Actually, I have one question too. And is actually, it's clear what we are changing in A, but it's not clear to me where the text in B should go. We are talking about status amendment, so the article that we are changing and the paragraph that we are changing must be reported.
But Vojta, did you say that we had to change the rules of procedures before we could vote on 2B? Question mark? Okay, so that part is
No, we need to change the statutes before we change the rules of procedure.
Aha. So how many votes in total is that? And can we do it?
Well, there's one vote to change the part of the composition of boards. Yes, somebody is highlighting now on the shared page. We need to change the sections, articles 11.3. That's to change the number of members of the board. And we need to change article 12.7 to change a number of alternate board members or the way we elect them.
Okay, for the stupid, which I'm always included in, we can vote on 2A, yes or no?
Yes, totally.
But we have to have 1 or 2 votes before we vote on 2B to change the statutes.
No, we then need to vote on 2B, which needs to be prepared correctly, and then we can vote if we want to change the rules of procedure. So up to 3 votes.
Gotcha. Marco, did you get it too?
It seems that I am more stupid than anyone else because it's not clear to me, actually.
Okay, I think we can move forward with 2A, and maybe then it would be, more understandable.
Seconded.
Okay. Michael, are you ready to take the votes?
I think it would be great if Keith commented, but I'm not sure if he can talk.
No, absolutely, but I want just to know if he's ready when we will start counting the votes. Michael Sinclair, are you there?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. I think that Kate is still writing, so I will wait for him.
We're good to go.
Okay, we are good to go. So we are voting on. Can you please, Kate, put your screen on
the question?
On the question.
No. No. Maybe.
Okay. So we are going to vote on what is written as Proposal A.
Can you highlight the proposals somewhere?
Okay. So I will proceed with the vote. Norway.
You know, everything still is moving all over the screen. I'm not sure what I'm voting on. Can you read it out loud?
Okay.
Read exactly what I'm voting yes or no to.
Okay,
or maybe,
please.
If you are going to write out the votes, you can't be sharing the screen at the same time.
Yeah, it's right.
May I help you, Marco?
No.
If somebody will let me, I will share the question and Keith can take votes or something like that.
Wait a moment, I have a chat from Italy. What? Can you please raise your hand, Giuseppe, when you are trying to ask a question? Because if not, I will not see that. Cal. Okay. In the meantime,
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have
Can I go?
something that is related to this? What is that you are asking? I don't understand.
I'm asking why is the 2B, we're actually voting on 2B, because we can actually decide to just do that without an actual rule. We can just adopt a constitutionary use.
Okay, but then it's not related to the status amendment. Okay, so can everyone read the chat? In the chat, Michael Sinclair reported what we are voting on. 12, board. The board is composed of A, 1 chairperson, B, 1 vice chairperson, C, additional board members. 2B.
Linda, see message from me.
Okay. I can see with the screen sharing, I cannot see who is wishing to talk. So if anyone...
Okay. I understand what I'm voting on and I'm ready to vote.
Okay. So I would proceed. Norway?
I vote in favor of the motion.
Okay, can you please say yes or no? Or
yes.
Okay. Czech Republic?
I'd abstain.
Brazil?
Yes.
Germany?
Nay.
Italy?
Yeah.
Israel? Israel?
Yes.
Greece?
Yes.
Catalonia?
No.
Austria?
Yes.
Netherlands?
Yes.
Luxembourg?
Yes.
France? Not present. Switzerland? Not present. Slovakia?
Yes.
Portugal?
Yes.
Okay. Michael, can you please declare the outcome of the vote, which is pretty clear. But okay. Michael?
So we have 10 yeses, 2 noes, and 1 abstain. What is the quorum?
Just to correct you, it's 9.5, 1.5, and 1 abstention.
Is Catalonia is only a half? No, okay, exactly, yeah. So it's
half.
So it's 1.5 no's.
Linda, you want to talk?
Since this is taking a whole lot longer than when we voted to just quickly get it over with, I have to leave. So if we're not immediately voting on the next addendum, I'll have to see if you can get Sven Mørkdal in instead of me. He wasn't able to join Zoom. He could vote for me.
So is the quorum 1/3 or 1/2 for this vote?
The quorum is 2/3.
Oh.
Raymond?
Yes, if you cannot get Svein in, can you please state with your voice that I have your proxy for Norway?
You have my proxy from Norway.
Okay, so so I would, if I understood correctly what Linda asked, we can go to it as soon as the vote. Michael?
What's the total votes? It's 32, isn't it?
Are you asking what is the voting power that is?
Yeah, all the members, the whole total voting power of all the members. It has to be 2/3 of that, doesn't it?
No, it must be 2/3 of the attending members.
Okay, attendant. Then it's no problem. Then it's voted in.
Okay.
One more vote change.
What? Sorry?
One more change in the quorum and voting. Dario has to leave, so his half-white vote goes to abstain on anything we vote on from now on.
Okay, thank you, Dario. And so the motion is passed, and the meeting is adjourned at 15. Does anyone object to that?
Question, adjourned till when?
15 Central European Time.
For an hour.
Yeah, 1 hour. If anyone wants, yeah, 1 moment.
Why? There's one vote we have still to do, and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, but Linda needs to go, and so. But yeah, we
May I
have
help you?
vote. We have.
May I help you?
Okay, 1 moment. Okay, Raymond, 1 moment. Bastian.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what we have to do now. It's just a short term, so why should we adjourn the meeting for 1 hour? Because one has to leave. There are a lot of people from Norway here. Should they represented? Thank you.
Marco, may I?
1 moment. Yes. First Austria, then you, and then Linda. Austria doesn't want to.
I already had mine.
Okay. Raymond?
Yes, let's try to save some time here. Number one, Linda is leaving, but that does not mean Norway is leaving. I got the proxy, so I can vote for her. She can and should simply leave. And we should get on with voting on 2B. It's a little bit complicated, so I offer my help in conjunction with Wojtek, who is an absolute expert and race car driver on this. So if you want that, we can make it happen before 1500. and end today's meeting at 1500 and return at 10 a.m. Tomorrow.
That
Thank
would
you.
be okay. Perfect. Then there was someone else who wanted to talk. Sebastian, do you want to talk, or is just the hand there? No. Okay. Okay, then at this point, I would say that we can proceed with the next point. 2B. Does anyone object to that? Raymond?
No, I wanted to speak to it and get us going on it. Is that okay now?
Yeah.
Yes. I understand it to be like this. Before we can vote on the 2B that we have seen the text on, we have to adapt the statutes and the rules of procedure, and then we can vote on it. So that means 3 votes in quick succession, as I see it. Please, Wojta.
I see a proposal
to establish because now we voted to change the statutes of the composition of the board. Now the discussion moves on the composition of alternate board members, I would say. And we need to establish what the proposed text is now to be changed, because Keith originally proposed just to change the number of alternate board members from 4 to 7 or something like that. I'm proposing to have no number there and some additional changes. So we need to establish what the change of this is, and then we can vote on it. And if we want, we can then vote on the changed rules of procedure, but I think there will be objections to that.
Yeah, I could say that I see a proposal from Kate.
I actually don't, so please, can we just put up some place where we are now discussing the new text? It can be PET, it can be congresses, it can be Discord, but can we establish a place where the now created text is?
Yeah, I agree. Kate wrote about an Etherpod. I must say that he made a reasonable adjournment. I mean, if we need to change the text and stuff, perhaps it's better to follow what he's saying, that we should adjourn for part B tomorrow, so that we close now and adjourn it directly tomorrow, because I see that there are still problems, and so at least we will have a final text and we will all be sure on what we are voting for. Okay, yeah, Michael, also our vote counter need to leave. So I would really be for adjourning the meet tomorrow. It seems that a lot of people is asking that right now.
I second the motion when I hear that.
Okay, I would like to ask then if we would not discuss the statute amendments tomorrow. I think we can work with what we've got now, because then tomorrow is for other discussions. And if we are not able to finish this now, it would take, I don't know, 2 hours tomorrow, maybe more, so please don't.
Okay, so there is an objection to the motion of order. I would say that at this point, I would ask for a, Michael, are you still there? Or did you already leave?
Michael Sinclair, are you there?
Michael? No idea. So I will take the votes myself. So
I volunteer if you need somebody.
Yeah, Michael. Procedural motion to end the agenda item. Okay, which agenda item?
You don't know.
Thomas? Okay, so you want to end and scrap completely the status amendment. So we accept the status amendment and we will not vote on part B. Is that correct, Thomas?
That would be correct. Because
Okay.
I believe it will take too much time to have an elaborate text. Plus, I believe there will be a lengthy discussion afterwards again, and will just cost time. Nothing else.
Okay, then. So right now we only accepted the proposal A. This is a procedural motion. Okay, Kate, you're back. Thomas proposed to. Sorry. Thomas proposed to end the status. Kate, I cannot hear you. One moment. Thomas proposed to end the status amendment now, and so to not discuss further status amendment. It's a procedural motion, so does anyone object to it? Please voice. Kate, you proposed the statutes amendment.
Am I objecting to something? I'm not objecting to anything.
Okay, so you don't object to anything?
No.
Okay. So it's okay if we take and the statutes amendment discussion now. Okay. Okay, then. Raymond.
If we decide to end this today, then we have to find one or two people that will prepare the text for tomorrow and have it ready.
No, because right now we are ending the statutes amendment discussion, so there will be no discussion on statutes amendments tomorrow. So I would proceed to vote. Do we want to close the discussion on statutes amendment? So eventual other statutes amendment will be discussed at the next General Assembly.
Marco, if I may, I want to point out that if a procedural motion is not objected, it stands accepted without voting. So if nobody objects, you don't need to vote on it.
I know, but since this is about statute amendment, I want to make sure that every member understood that if they do not object, then there will be no statute amendment discussion, neither today or tomorrow. I want just to be clear about that, so that no one will end up on Monday, but we didn't discuss the statute amendment.
I second your option.
Okay, then.
I don't understand. I don't understand. May I?
Yeah.
Are we deciding not to discuss it, but we can vote on it, or are we just scrapping it?
This is a procedural motion, so actually the point is, if someone say I object, then we will vote on that. If no one say I object, then the meeting will be adjourned to tomorrow, and there will be no further statutes amendment discussion for this General Assembly.
I don't get it. Does that mean that there will be no 2B and there will be no voting on 2B? What's the consequence of what you're proposing?
No voting on 2B. There will be no voting on 2B.
All right, Keith. Do we not want to change the 2B part? Do we want to keep?
So 2B, it would be nice. I agree with Wojta's proposal. I think it makes a lot of sense. However, it's not absolutely necessary to change at the moment, because we could just vote for alternate members separately. I don't mind if we want to bring it for a vote. If we want to scrap it, I leave that to anyone's discretion whether they want to object, but I'm not objecting personally.
Okay, then I have no further objections or anything. Just go right ahead.
Okay. Now, yeah, the point is that this is a procedural motion to end the status amendment discussion now. So we will not vote about 2B unless someone objects to this procedural motion. So what I am asking now, does anyone say I object to the fact that we are closing the discussion now And so there will be no further vote on the status amendment. Does someone object to the closing?
I object.
Okay, then the procedural motion is put to vote. So, so the matter in question is, do you want to have further discussion and voting on point 2B, Norway? I think you're, Raymond, are you the...
Yes, I have the proxy for Norway and I'm super confused.
Okay.
Hold on. I have to think out loud. Keith said we don't need it. Then I believe Keith. So I vote for whatever ends this now.
Okay, so yes, end is now. Yes.
Thank you for your patience.
Czech Republic?
I'm okay with continuing the discussion, so yes.
Oh, no, wait. The procedure.
So no. I'm not sure what would the question, but if...
Do you want to end the discussion now?
No.
No. Brazil, do you want to end the discussion now?
I abstain.
Abstain. Germany.
Sorry, yay.
Yes. Italy. Someone from Italy?
Yes.
Okay, no one. Diana?
Yes.
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 Israel? Israel? Yes. Greece?
No.
No. Catalonia is abstain. Austria?
Yes.
Yes. Netherlands?
No.
No. Luxembourg?
Yes.
Yes. France? Not present. Switzerland? Yes. Slovakia?
No.
No. Portugal?
Abstains.
Abstain. Michael, do we have a simple majority?
Michael Sinclair is not here, but
Theoretically, he's still here, but I can say that.
I was writing it down, so just let me count it.
I'm counting them too. Well, we have only 4 no. And 7 yes. So according to me, the procedural motion is passed.
Agreed.
Okay. So we don't have any other issue to talk for today, and we will adjourn the meeting tomorrow morning. If I can.
10?
Fine, and at 10. So the meeting is adjourned tomorrow morning at 10. Thank you for attending. Does anyone wants to add something? Okay, Bailey, okay, first, Michael.
I suppose that everybody is gonna say the same, that we should have another pirate beer tonight. Because
that's what I was gonna say. So last night, a bunch of us hung out just on Zoom and we had, I don't know, it's pirate beer, right? So we just like hung out and like drank.
See chat.
At which time?
See chat. Invitation, 8 o'clock.
Perfect.
And the link is there.
Perfect. Raymond, do you want to add something?
No, that's all I wanted to add.
Okay, then. The meeting, the official meeting is adjourned tomorrow at 10 o'clock. The unofficial meeting and party like hell will be this evening at 20 Central European Time. The meeting is adjourned to tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Central European Time.